Hello everyone, my name is Vignesh, and for the Python programming one, my mini project would be an automated email processing and response system. Let us take a look at it, shall we? Now, for the introduction, this project will automate the process of searching the email, extracting the data within the email, generating a prompt for replying, and saving the info for future reference. Okay, moving on. Okay, now the core objective would be automated email retrieval, extracting content, send auto replies, and save the email data. These are the core functions that this code will tackle. Now moving on. Okay, now I have made a block diagram to have a clear view on how and what this code does. So basically, when we start, the code will log into the Gmail using the IMAP protocol, which is the Internet Message Access Protocol. Select the inbox for the particular Gmail that we have set up, search for the email from the sender that we have stated, fetch the data within the email, especially the extracting the subject and the body, message body, and save the email into a file, TXT format, send an auto reply using the SMTP, simple message transfer protocol, and basically repeats for the next email. And let us move on. Okay, now for the coding part, I set up this explanation, basically dividing the code into three parts. Variables configuration, functions to get the email body, function to send a reply, connect to Gmail, process each email, save the email to file, send automated replies. We're going to take a look at all of this on the next slide. Now for the variables, we have stated all the important libraries that we need for this code to function. Starting off with the IMAP library, which helps us to connect and fetch the email via IMAP. Next would be the email library, helps us to process the content within the email. And the third one would be SMTP library, which helps us to send the email to the sender. And lastly, email library is for creating and generating the email that we're going to send. Okay, let us move on. Okay, let us take a look at the configuration. This is one of the important part of the code. Basically, we need to set up everything correctly in order for this code to work. Okay, let us start with the user. User is basically the email that we're going to go through, that we're going to use to view the inbox. Okay, this email is need to be correct, so it's important to double check. And the password. The password here is, we're not going to use the main password that we normally use, but instead we're going to generate an app password to Gmail. So if we enter to the Gmail account settings, we can find a section for app password. So basically we need to state what is it going to be used for, and then we'll get a 16 letter password that we're going to use for this code. So it is important to note that that the password might have some space, so we need to remove the space for this password to work. If not, the authentication will fail, so it will not work. Okay, next up, basically we're stating that the email will connect to the IMAP server, also connecting to the server for sending emails. And we've also stated the port 587 for this Gmail system. Okay, next we're going to look at the function to get the email body. Basically, this is the function that would extract the plain text body from the email message, handles both multi-part HTML and attachment and simple messages as well. So if we take a look at the fourth line from the bottom, we have stated that the content type is plain text. So basically this function would extract the plain text from the email body. so only plain text. So it's important to take note. Moving on. Okay, this is the function to send the automated reply. So basically, this function will send the reply to the sender. As we can see over here, we have added the MIME text, which is to create a message object, also include the sender and the recipient, including with the subject. So we've also add in the section where we would connect to the server, also start the encryption, TSL encryption, log in with credential, send the message, and end the connection over there. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, this is the function where we connect the Gmail and specify on what we're going to select. So over here, we have listed on the first line over here, which will create a secure connection using SSL. On the next one, it will bring our login information, basically the user email and password to log in. And next, it will select the inbox within the email. Okay, moving on. Okay, next, this is the section where it will search and process each of the email. The first line over here is where we will set the email of the sender. So this is also important. So this email has to be correct in order for this code to work. Uh, Basically, once that we have set up the email of the sender, it will search in reverse, basically start with the newest email and goes on to the oldest, and only process the valid emails. Then it will extract the key info such as email subject, sender email address, and email body text. And it will also print out the subject and the email where it is received from, and the body. It will include the message body as well on the bottom. Okay, now moving on. Now, once the code have extracted the information and list out the information within the prompt, it will later then save the email to a file into a TXT format for further reference. So this will save the content that we see within the prompt into a file so that we can later view when it's necessary. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is the section to send the automated reply. As we can see on the first line over here, reply text, we can basically state whatever that we want, uh, whatever that we're going to send to the sender. I kept it simple over here. I wrote down, hello, your email has been received and processed. So we can change this to whatever context that we want, depending on the situation. So this is the area that we need to change. Okay, moving on. Okay, let us take a look at this test video, which I've recorded to see how the code runs on actual scenario. Okay, here is where I click run, and the ideal shell comes up. It's loading. Okay, now here's where we can see the subject of the email from the sender, which is I wrote down as Python code test email. And it also lists out the sender email on the second line, which I've blocked it out because it's my personal email. And it also includes the text message from the body of the email. Basically, it's the introduction for this code, and also stating that the file name on the bottom over here. And it's also mentioning that it also sent reply. Okay, moving on. Okay, I've also included a larger image from the test run so that we can have a clear view on how it will look like. Next. Okay, this is the image of the test response. After the extraction, the system sends out a response and saves the folder. So this is how it will look. The email text name over here. And on the right is the response that we set up. on the code previously. All right, moving on. Okay, tools that we have used for this code, for this project, which is Python. We use Python to code all this function. Next, we have used the IMAP library, the SMTP library, the email library, and Gmail, IMAP, and SMTP. Now, in result, the system successfully retrieved the email that we want from the sender, extract the information that we need, the crucial information that we want, saves the email for further reference, and also send a reply. Okay, next. Now, in conclusion, the automation improves efficiency and reduces manual workload. So we don't need to type in the details every time that we want to send an email. So it's quite quick when it comes to this. We just need the sender's email to send in an immediate response. Okay, so now when we look at who's going to use this project or system, as we say, best suited for the following parties. So I would recommend this for lecturers. Let's say if the students send in their assignments and the lecturer wants to send in an immediate response. So instead of going through the email and send a response, we can just use this code to send in immediate response. So basically stating that the assignment has been received and is being processed. Next will be employer. Let's say if the employer received a resume from the employee that wants to reply, wants to get a job, the employer then could send in immediate response where they can state the resume has been received and it's being processed. So it's quite quick instead of just ghosting the employees that wants to get a job. Next, it's also best suited for entrepreneurs. Let's say if the customer orders something and the entrepreneur could then send in an immediate response stating that the order has been received and is being processed. So these best suited for these three categories because these three categories requires handling a large amount of emails. So it's best suited and it's more efficient when we use this code to handle all this large amount of emails. I think that'll be all from my side. Thank you.